and this is the game, a story based library where I have to choose options and which one I would like to. Here's the book, it says. Let me click on it. Yes, definitely, I don't think so. There is any, this is clickable. And I'm going to choose the wizard's choice 1, then choice 2, then choice 5. And how many choices are there? Like 22 choices are chapters, I think. Yes, this will be loaded by the time. Oh no, I think 6 choices in the first book. And let's click on it. All you need to know, the scroll, read and make choice. That is, your progress is automatically bookmarked. Tap to screen to show height to the menu. Wizard. Choice 1 by Sam Lansdowne. Summary. You play the part of a wizard in medieval fantasy world. This is the first part of an epic series. Content warning, violence and dark themes begin. You are a young wizard seeking treasure and glory. You are walking along a path in the forest. One day's journey from Ring City, your beloved home. Night has just fallen, and you are thinking about how it might be a good idea to find a campsite. After all, you are in a goblin treasury, and it is dangerous to travel in the dark. Suddenly, you smell something awful. Reginald, are you responsible for that outrageous smell? You ask the barrier striding ahead of you. Breno, I am always downwind from my companions. When I squeeze the below, Reginald answers. You realize that you have never encountered this stench before, and it is close, and perhaps it's your imagination, but it is muffled breathing you just heard. What do you do? जस्ट स्मेल के लिए किसी को वार्निंग देना। हाँ, हो सकता है, आप किसी को वार्निंग दे सकते हो, लेकिन यहाँ पर डाई फ्लैट ऑन योर फेस। आई थिंक चूँकि अंधेरी रात है और हो सकता है उसके साथ कई साथी भी हों, तो मैं यहाँ पर छिपना पसंद करूँगा। हाँ, छिप जाते हैं, ज़्यादा बेहतर है। ठीक है। When in doubt, hiding is a fine strategy, and the forest offers plenty of covers. You motion to Reginald as you creep off the trail. Now inside the brush, you can see glowing eyes staring at you from behind a tree several paces away. You hear a snort as several green-skinned goblins charge out of hiding toward you. With an arcane word and a flourish of one hand, you fire a bolt of flame at the leader of charge. Your bolt strikes the goblin. मुझे तो नहीं मार रहा था यार. Engulfing it in flames, it drops to the ground, thrashing. Reginald hacks down another with his sword. The remaining 3 run away, whooping and yipping. Their cries are joined by others from the dark forest all around you. Many calls from far too many goblins to fight toe to toe. It's a hunting party, probably tracking wild games. We humans are delicacy, much better than mutton, Reginald says. You regard the 2 dead goblins on the ground. Dead goblins are worth 10 gold pieces per head in the city. Luckily, you don't need to carry their heads around. The city authorities will accept their left ears. What do you do? जब उसके 10 सिक्के मुझे मिल ही रहे हैं तो मैं उसे क्यों नहीं लूँगा, और सिर्फ कान ही काटना है तो डेफिनेटली आई विल कट देयर ears off and take 10 gold. Said this those 2 of them, so it will be 20. Get the ears, you exclaim as you pull out your razor sharp dagger from your belt. For a second, your sometimes slow-witted warrior sidekick doesn't understand, but as you started saving, Away at first year, he gets the idea and fishes out his own dagger. Soon you have a bloody goblin ear stuffed in your pocket, and Reginald has one of his own nasty. Very, however, 10 gold pieces are nearly 6 months of wage to a common laborer. So you are willing to take that hit. What now? Reginald asked. Certainly, there are excellent places to hide in the forest if we can just make it until morning. True. However, the goblins may have dogs and their own sense of smell is keen, you say. We might climb a tree then. That would at least be a defensible, Reginald suggests. You wish to be treated like a fox with goblins barking underneath. If we wish a position that is both defensible and allows some freedom of movement, we should hasten to Castle Inverness. It is near and we could fortify ourselves behind those walls, Reginald says. I just don't know who this man is. I should not have chosen to hide. I should have talked to him earlier when I make the choice. But hey, this is a game here. We have to make a choice and the choice will not be changed. So yeah, we have choose to hide and we just don't know who this man or the guy is who's the Reginald. If you wish position that is both, yeah, yes, we have read that. You frown. It is fortress, yes, but inhabited by what? God knows. What manner of creature may have taken up residence in that room over the years. अब जंगल में छिपना मुझे ठीक नहीं लग रहा. तो garrison in the ruin walls. Climb a large tree. I think मुझे फोर्ट में चले जाना चाहिए. That might be worst. No, ठीक है, यही चूज कर लेते हैं. Let us take refuge behind the stone wall of Castle Inverness, you say. Goblin hunting calls echo from all around the forest as two of you dash up the path 100 meters or so, where you find a fork in the road. The path to the right appears to be seldom used since it's nearly overgrown. The path to left is clear and you think you see firelight down that way. Could this fire belong to the goblins? I don't know. Or if you are lucky, is it the campfire of another friendly adventure party? What do you do? क्या इन्वेस्टिगेट किया जाए? मुझको तो नहीं ठीक लग रहा है इन्वेस्टिगेट करना उसको. नो, दिस इज़ नॉट गुड वे. हमें जल्दी से मुझको नहीं पता. तो मैं कैशल नेवर क्वेश्चन ए विजर्ड. हाँ ठीक है, डायरेक्ट कैशल ही चलते हैं. Enough foolishness to Castle Inverness and had a blessed was, you proclaim. Reginald raises his fist. Yes, may their puny bodies break against our stone defenses. Continue. After a minute of stumbling down what is best described as a game trail, you see the shadowy husk of the ruin in the moonlight ahead. Unfortunately, the battle cries of your pursuers as closer than ever. And when you look back over your shoulder, you see glowing eyes. The two of you turn on a burst of speed. And soon the castle looms before you. The wall around the ruin is about 10 feet high and crumbling. You realize with horror that there are no holes on this side that are large enough to fit through. Meanwhile, Reginald, a faster runner than yourself, has disappeared around the north corner of the wall. A, sh- a short spear whistled past your head. You look back and see at least four rough little beasts. Oh, these goblins are behind me still. That was a good choice, I think. I was not talking about the fire there. Okay, what you do? Definitely, I'm gonna follow Reginald because he is the savior here. Jump the wall, spell mana 1. Turn and blast them, mana 4. I don't think so. We need to kill them. If we go to the castle, they will not. They will not able to come there. And by killing them, no, definitely, there are a lot more. They are going to come. So we are not going to kill them. Neither blast them. And jump the wall. Follow the Reginald. Reginald is some kind of friend here, so I'm definitely gonna follow him. You turn north to follow Reginald. You almost reach the corner when arrow stabs into your shoulder. क्या बात कर रहा हूँ? When you round the corner, you don't see your friend, but there is a section of partially crumbled wall that you think you can climb swiftly. Another arrow whistled by before you are able to roll over the top of the battlement and onto the rotten wooden floorboards on the other side. In a few seconds, there are several goblins at the base of the wall, chattering angrily. The largest of them begins climbing up the rotten rock, and another starts climbing after the leader. You decided this a good place to take a stand. There's a lot of loose rock at the top of a wall. You are not particularly strong, thanks to your inactive life as a wizard. However, could pu- you expect you could push a few large rocks down upon his this climber. On the other hand, they are all out in the open, and your combat spell would certainly be effective now. What do you do? Push rocks down to the lead climber? Just fry the lead climber mana too. He definitely want me to do some kind of magic. Yeah, and let's use it. Magic. You lean down and call forth the magical power within you. From your outstretched finger erupts as a single jet of flame that blasts the lead climber as the smoke clears. You see he is no more than a smoldering corpse on the ground. The other climber jump off the wall to join its companion at the base of the wall. The goblin scream in rage and back off. Suddenly you feel the battlement board below you shake to the unmistakable rhythm of footfall. Good, they got behind me, you think. Charging along the runway is the shadow of a tall man carrying something above. Reginald is shut in relief. He must have found another way in. Reginald leans over the wall and seemingly without even aiming lets choose an arrow. One of the little devils below falls to the ground, squirming with an arrow in its chest. The others scatter back toward the forest with their eyes turned away. They make difficult target in the scant moonlight. Nevertheless, your friend takes one more down before the other makes it safety of the woods. We have struck terror into that advanced party, but they will call for reinforcement. We have the wall, can we hold it? Reginald asked. We could go in. You point to the castle keep beyond the courtyard. The castle is 3 stories tall, or at least it had been before the top layer partially collapsed. The second story is barely any better. The fortress is as lifeless and still as painting. Still, you wonder if anyone is looking back at you from the dark window and arrow slits of the ruin. What do you suggest? Just like he told us the castle is not good, then why he really recommended us? Okay, I think then prepare a wall defense because we just have blown the goblins away, so they definitely come with more of them. Ghosts know what's in that castle. Let's fight only one enemy at a time, you say. Soon the forest around you is dotted with glowing sets of eyes. It is difficult to count them as they appear and disappear behind trees, but you guess 20 or more. Surely they will attack from all sides at once. say Reginald, and they can see at night like we can in the day. You consider the long dry grass of the courtyard below. It's some lamp oil. You could start a fine brush fire around there. The light of it could perhaps even the hours on these nocturnal creatures. You could even cast a spell upon the fire to create a blinding flash, but you are not sure you want to leave the wall to carry out such an unconventional plan. They may attack while you are away, leaving only Reginald to defend the wall. You wonder how long the goblins will take to muster their force. Your question is immediately answered as you hear a battle cry, high pitched, furious, and seemingly on the edge of panic. It erupts from the forest as a tide of little green evil eyes surge forward. What do you do? I think definitely they are going to come if either we have blown them or throw some stone toward them. I think yes, we must set the courtyard on fire so the goblins not able to see anything beyond it are not able to come there too. So yes, without a moment to lose, you jump down into the courtyard, empty a flask of oil onto the dry grass, and light it. The fire spreads rapidly. You ascend a ladder against the wall to rejoin Reginald. God helps us. They come from all sides. You shout. Reginald does not answer as he walks his bow. Thrum, thrum goes the string. Soon several of goblins have scaled for the wall. Two have dropped down to the courtyard, while another charge upon the rickety battlement walkway toward you. Others follow, and then still more from the east and west walls. You can see them clearly thanks to the courtyard brush fire. You dare not to wait any longer. Reginald, close your eyes, you shout, and then let loose the spell. Crack, you see bright pink behind your shut eyelids. The fire has become a brilliant flash, a brief pulse brighter than full daylight. You wait a second, it will take that long for the flare to die. As you open your eyes, you see that the fire is still brilliant but no longer blinding. Now the little monsters are shielding their eyes and screaming down below in the courtyard. It is chaos among the goblins. Closer to you, one of the goblins stumbles, heading off the battlement. Kill them all, and be quick about it. They will not be blind for long. You shout as you reach into the folds of your robe and pull out a dagger. Reginald slings his bow and unsheathes his long sword. The goblin is still standing are now waving their short swords and spears blindly in front of them. Reginald effortlessly bats this weapon aside with his long sword with a single mighty cleaving per creature. He cuts the goblins down one after the other. For you, using a blade to dispatch foes is demeaning and dangerous. Blind or not, those vicious little monsters will slash and bite for their lives. Nevertheless, as a long knife requires no mana, so you quickly get to work. You jump out into the courtyard where you have more room to maneuver. You run behind each goblin, thrust in your dagger, and immediately spring backward before your victim has chance to swing at you. You smile to yourself, you really on a roll. Gods, I hate goblins, you think? Just as you consider singing a song to a better mock your blinded quarry, more of the little beasts come, a lot more. They scuttle over the walls like a cockroach. To the castle. You shout. I was not about to go there. Once across the courtyard, you open the large wooden double door which shriek on rusty hinges. Inside, Reginald slams and bars the doors. The entire chamber is large with a high voltage ceiling. The stone walls are cracked, flaking. The ground is strewn with loose rubble. The air is stale. Aside from the double doors, behind you, There are closed wooden doors on the northeast and west wall. Near Near the north door, there is a straight way going up, but it is blocked by rubble. It is not long before the front door begins to rattle violently through a nearby arrow slit. You can see glowing eyes and the glint of access chopping away at the door. You are not sure how long the pirate portal will hold them. Reginald wants to hide deeper in the castle. On the other hand, this place smells of death. It might be prudent to take a few seconds to investigate the room and doors. What do you do now? Investigating right now? Right now is not a good idea. I think I would say search the room doors because the goblins are behind us and they are throwing on the door. So yes. You motion to Reginald to check the east door. You inspect ground and see there has been traffic throughout there. Some of tracks on the dusty floor appears to be from human-sized shoes or boots, while other appears to be from bare feet, far too large to be from men. None of tracks appear to belong to goblin. Listening you can't hear anything over the goblin thumping and screaming outside. You direct the light of your lantern at the northern door and are about to turn toward the eastern door when something catches your attention. Was that an eye? You wonder. You think you caught a glimpse of a glistening eyeball throughout a rotting hole in the northern door. Casually, as though just taking a hook, look around. You sweep your lantern light over the door again, pausing for just instant at the spot. Yes, that was an eye. You being watched, and although your glimpse of it was fleeting, you could tell the eye did not belong to a human. It is far too large. You'd like to get a better look at the creature. There's a minor spell you normally use to magically open doors from a distance. You find it tedious opening door yourself. As long as the door is unlocked, you could use this lazy wizard spell to open the eye door without being too close. On the other hand, that may frighten or anger whomever that eye belongs to. Perhaps you should just talk to it. Maybe you can join force against the goblin. Alternatively, you might be able to hurl a bolt of fire through that eye hole. Not an easy shout, but you have the element of surprise. Finally, there is the running option, a choice that has been keeping wizard alive for thousands of years. What do you do? What I do? Just like he told, that is not looks like a human eye. So freeing him, not a good idea. Opening the door, not a good idea. Talk to creatures, also not a good idea because he's not a human. So talking to him is open the door, shoot the eye hole without knowing him, killing, not a good idea also. And he is saying that talk to the creatures like they are goblin behind us. We are not going to talk to them. Yes, I think we need to run. Let that be. When the goblins will go away, we'll talk to them. Run, you command as you point to the eastern door. Reginald reached the door first and yanks it open. Crack! You hear from behind you. The northern door, the door with the eye hole, has exploded open. The light of your lantern streams to the doorway, reveal a huge mushroom monster. He holds a massive spiked club in one hand, a melon-sized rock in another. He steps into the room like see. Never stone, it's an augury. Reginald shouts. Just then, the front of the door castle burst open like a tidal wave, crashing on the beach as a heap of goblins falls into the room. Creature one top of the other, a chorus of glee erupts from their fanged mouth. Arrow and spear fly over between the goblins in front. You are struck by a spear. Luckily, it's not only a flesh wound. Meanwhile, the ogre roars in rage and throws his rock at first goblin, striking it in the chest with such a nasty crunching sound that you know the goblin will never get up. Reginald and you nearly collide in your haste through the eastern portal. Once through, you slam the door closed. From the entrance chamber, you just left come goblin heaps of time, which then turn into a scream of terror that are immediately drowned out by an earth-shaking snarl. Next is the sharp slapping of flesh against flesh and the weird sound of bodies ripping apart. You run from one room to the next. The ogre is not much of a housekeeper. The castle is full of giant cobwebs and broken furniture. Finally, you enter a large room, a dining room, as evident by a long wooden table and two fireplaces. You motion to Reginald to stop, and you both listen faintly. You can hear the far sound of battle from behind you. Can't leave that way, you think. Just then, you hear something else, labored by breathing, and it is that crying. What? I think this is still the night, and what we are doing here is we need to talk because the if the morning would have happened, definitely I would leave that castle and go away with my home. But for glory and the loot, you think to yourself, stick the you quickly realize that the sound seems to be coming from this very room. You creep over the other end of dining hall and see a young woman sitting on floor, chained to wall, her head down. She looks up at you with an expression of fear that quickly turns to surprise. "Who are you?" she asks. You tell her your name and that you are here to smite evil while making your fortunes. This brings a smile to her face, a pretty smile. You suspect, although it's hard to tell under all the dirt smudged on her face. She gives her name as Siba and says there is a key to her chains on the table. Sure enough, beside cracked and dusty china is a small brass key. As you set about unlocking her, she tells you that she is a merchant daughter who was traveling with her father trade caravan when it was attacked by a mighty ogre with a small band of priests of an evil god. Wearing dark cloak, those of her party not skilled in initial attack were taken prisoner and chained up in the room. One by one they were taken away by the priest, never to return. They took my father, Siba sniffs. No doubt he is slain, but I must try to find him. Will you help me? You ask her if she has any idea where her father or others might be, but she knows a little of the rest of the castle. Reginald takes you aside and says, "Ought we take her to the safety and look for her father on our own? She will be in danger traveling with us." You agree with having some half-starved unarmed merchant's daughter tripping along behind you will not you will only get her killed. But where is safety? Last time you checked, the courtyard was crawling with goblins, and according to her, the castle residents are not very good hosts. What do you do? Definitely going to escort her out because the ogre is not a good guy, neither the goblin nor the castle looking good. So definitely I'm going to escort her. Escort her out. Here is saying that your mother taught you well. Manner matters. Okay, it gives me 1 points plus 10 total. Siva seems like a nice enough young woman, but as a merchant's daughter, she is not a very good addition to the adventuring party, and so you are eager to escort her out of the castle as quickly as possible. Between Reginald clinking, chainmail armor, and Siva insistent sniffling and muttering about her father. Three of you are not the stealth party you wish to be. After some searching, you find a hole in the wall of the castle large enough for a human to fit through. Reginald gives you a boost up to the hole and you look out. Neville Stone, you curse in your head. Glowing eyes dot the courtyard outside. You get down and tell the others the bad news. As you are describing what you saw, there is a sudden jolt of numbing cold in your back. You cry out in pain and turn to see a cloaked man barely visible in light cast by a low burning lantern he is pointing at you with his other hand. Perhaps this is one of the evil priests Siva spoke of. As you slump back against the wall, Siva covers in corner. Reginald unleashes his sword and charges the cloaked man's runs. By the time you recover from the pain and stand up, Reginald is walking briskly back into the chamber. The sneaky devil eluded me, he says, and then curses. I would bet my lost copper he is off gathering a light to come back for us. We must move on, you say. As you hasten away from wing of the room, the three of you agree Sheba should hide for now. There are a ton of hiding places in the room. You find a nice pile of rubble for her to hide behind several rooms away. Stay still and quiet here. We will return. Well, if we do not return by morning, escape as best as you can. You instruct her. Clever, Reginald says as you leave her. If her abductors find her missing, they will not expect her to remain in the castle. With luck, they will leave the castle although altogether to search and we can explore unhindered. Unhindered, you say with a smile. The castle is quiet and dark. You walk into a wide hallway that branches in two directions. One direction is covered in dark layer of the dust, while other is covered in footprint. You decide that it would be wise to get away good a lay of the land before looking for any trouble. Despite the faint smell of rotting flesh from the dusty hall, you decide that it would be wise to go in the way first. Less monster, more treasure, or at least you hope. You have kept your lantern hooded, only allowing silver light out. After all, you want to remain stealthy. The way is dim. However, in you find yourself tripping over rubble and the odd piece of furniture ahead. There is a stench of rot, making you wonder if there might be something terrible hidden in the shadow. Too bad you cannot see in the dark like a goblin. What do you do? Let the lantern be there, cause walking in the even and I am the wizard here, but I'm not able to see in the darkness. So definitely I need the lantern. You take it slow in the dark. Still you stumble a few times, but at least you are not shining like a lighthouse at all your enemies. Soon the cobwebs thicken, and what is this? You find yourself stuck on one particular thick strand of web. As you take the hood off your lantern to better appraise the situation, something heavy hand on your shoulder. Spider. Reginald yelps. His sword is out and he swings it down hard on the top of you. Presently, your back is covered with greenish, oozing spider blood. The monstrously large spider is black with long matted fur. It now lies motionless on the floor. Reginald unhoods his lantern and places the light on the ceiling. Above, there are no more spiders, just thick webs dotted with small silky cocoons that you suspect might encase rats or other small prey. Now that the immediate crisis is over and you notice you are in pain, Reginald, who has never been a lover of spiders, cut your shoulder in his zeal to kill the thing. You don't hold it against him. He meant well, and it is far better to get a gouge from a sword than an injection of venom from something like that. Reginald does his best to bandage you up, and then you proceed down to the hall. You lantern are no longer hooded. However, you want to get a better look around. You pay particular attention to the ceiling. Eventually, the two of you make your way to a spiral staircase going up. The upper regions of foul places like this are safer than the lower levels, says Reginald. Why Neville's tongue would that be, you say? Reginald shrugs. Do not ask me what is the mind of you of finds and evil-hearted beasts. Perhaps they all prefer the darkness and stagnant air below ground. You look up the stairway and sigh. Well, perhaps we can get a view of the courtyard and the goblin from up there. Regional Reginald leads the way up stair which leads into a small tower. Moonlight filters in through two windows. This room is finely furnished and otherwise much more nicely kept than the rest of the castle you visited so far. There is a small bed still made. One on one end the ornate table and the bookshelf on the table is an open fairy tale book and a gold embossed hand mirror. Seeing a lure, you forget about the window and the potential view of the courtyard. You pick up mirror to inspect it. Strange, says the Reginald. There is no dust up here and you feel a draft. We are in ruin, you say. Of course there is a draft. The glasses in the window are still intact, muted Reginald. Gazing at your reflection in the mirror, you decide you look pretty good. All things considered, you brush cobwebs from your heavy, wavy brown hair. You smile, you are happy to see that your teeth are looking particularly good, of course. You deserve nice teeth, since unlike most people you know, you take care of them. Every morning you wipe your teeth with a cloth dipped into the cleaning concoction consisting of vinegar, salt, a little ants, and a small measure of your own urine. Up, but you are about to pull yourself away from the mirror and put it into your backpack when you glimpse a translucent skull with thin, wispy hair just behind you. Reflex. You spin around and see not a skull but a young girl floating a few feet in the air. Her pale face fixed on you. Reginald sees her too, as evidenced by him, running down to the stairway. How dare you touch what is mine? The ghostly girl shouts you back up and reflexively put the mirror back on the table. You have heard the tale of powerful ghosts that can suck the life right out of you and wonder if this girl is one of those. I think apologizing here is good way to scope her curse. Let's apologize. I apologize, my lady. You say it is the only that this is such a fine mirror I wished to admire. She glares at you for a moment and then she hard expression on her translucent face softened. I am Dutch Inverness. My father, the Duke, gave me that as a gift. You have heard the stories of Duke Inverness and the mysterious circumstances and around the demise of his house. Despise you here, you feel a pang of sadness for his daughter, who now shimmers before you, trapped in this world. And these books, why they look like excellent or stories in her. Here, you stammer. Read that one to me, the girl commands. Of course, my lady, you answer luckily for you, as wizard you know how to read. You pick up the book of fairy tale from the desk and begin on the first page. She stops you and demands that you read her true story about the unicorn. With a trembling hand, you page through the book. Eventually, you find this story and begin reading. The ghost floats up behind you as though to peer down at the picture. You feel a slight chill on your shoulders. Some time later, you look up from her book and see Reginald peeking around the corner of the stairway. at you. You shake your head slightly at him and then return your attention to the book. In the story, the unicorn taps her hoof against a wall in a castle, and a secret passage opens up. As you read this, little ghost girl smiles and says, "There is a secret passage in this castle as well. It is a foul palace, a palace where people are taken never to return." Oh, where is this secret passage you speak of? You ask. In my father's library, there is a statue. Push the arm of a statue down. She explained, "You are intrigued by this and wish to ask her more," but she pointed at the book impatiently, "and so you get back to it." Upon finishing the story of the girl demands you read her another. You wonder how long she might keep this up. Time means nothing to her. After all, you would like to get back to Reginald. And what about Siba, father? Rescuing a merchant might mean a fine reward, and there is Siba herself, of course. You like to find her before something else does. What do you do? Attempt to excuse yourself. Run for the stay. Not running. I'm definitely not going to run because, as he says, that there's no return for the castle without some kind of passage and to read, and I'm definitely making some excuse here. I hope so she's gonna listen me. Beautiful and gracious deeds. Might I ask your full name? You ask. Gabriela. Deus Gabriela of Innocence, she answered. My lady, you bow. I beg your pardon, but there is a young woman in the castle below who requires my assistance. There are evil men. I suspect they threaten her life. A maiden is distressed. Why do you dally here then? Be gone. You need no further encouragement. You step lightly toward the door. Wait. Her voice chills you, but you unwillingly turn back. Take this, she says, and she gold trimmed mirror floats off the table over to you. I cannot see myself in it anymore, she says softly. Generosity befitting a dude. I thank you most humbly. She smiles, and there is now some color to the girl hair and face. A candle and sconce behind her sponsors light. Is this a happy ghost? Go now, hero. She says, her smile winding further unnaturally. You bow low and take your leave. You find Reginald around the corner of the stairs. His sword at the ready. He begins asking your question, but you put up your hand another time. You say, Alright, this was the story. I think we need to end here. This is 42 minutes. I read this and meet you in the next one.